Are you ready to speak like a pro during your office meetings? In this video, you're going to be learning a practical framework that you can immediately start using so that you can be an effective communicator and a leader in a meeting. Let's get started. So I just want to set the context here that whatever you're trying to communicate, whatever you speak is an effect of how you're thinking, isn't it? How you think kind of gets processed, and you use a language as a form of communication, and you start talking to communicate those thoughts. So in the work of Daniel Kahneman, who's a Nobel winning author, psychologist, he mentions that there are two kinds of thinking that we have. One is the slow thinking and the other one is the fast paced thinking. All right. So now let's take the context of your office meetings where you're there and you have to share your thoughts, you have to communicate during that meeting. The first part is thinking intuitively, thinking fast, and giving quick responses to questions that are coming your way, or understanding the context, and just responding to that in a very fast-paced way. The pros of that, the advantage of that is it sounds cool. It looks cool when someone asks you something and you immediately respond to that. All right. It also demonstrates that you have a lot of expertise and authority on the topic. That's one thing. And the disadvantage of this kind of a fast-paced thinking and responding and communicating is it can be error prone. It can be error prone because you only have so much time to react and to respond. Just think of you driving a car in a very fast pace. And let's say someone comes in between and you only have so much time, a fraction of a second, to respond and react to that kind of a situation, right? And it can be really error prone. Even if you make a very small mistake in that situation, it can be really detrimental to you. So just like that, even in communication, even in thinking process, if you're going too fast, I'm not talking about the pace at which you speak. I'm talking about the pace with which you're thinking. If it's too gut driven, if it's too intuition driven, it's great, but it can be error prone. That's where the second form of thinking comes into the picture and really helps you become a really effective communicator. So the second kind of thinking, which I want to give you a framework today, is the slower form of thinking and communicating effectively. So here are a few steps that I just want you to kind of start taking notes and start following. And the step one here is to just get back to your presence. Just get back to a couple of deep breaths that you can take in that moment. Let's say just before the meeting, you can just step back, take a moment. And step two from here is truly understanding what's the goal of this meeting. What are the immediate or important outcomes and goals that you need to focus on during this meeting? The group has to focus on. Getting very clear about that. That becomes your step two, right? It's like you're slowly driving a car, and even if something happens, someone comes in between the road, you still have a lot of think time to process and respond to that, and not just be in a reaction mode. Yeah, so that's step two. Step three is trying to understand what data are going to be very critical and crucial for you to make the goal happen, for you to achieve that goals and outcomes. That becomes your step three. And that can only be possible when you slow down your thinking and kind of process the data, understand what you need to gather for the meeting, and then go and present it in a more effective way, right? So that becomes step three. And the step four is to understand what are some of the unknowns that can derail you or your team towards achieving that goals and outcomes during that meeting. What are those unknowns? And what are those assumptions that we are making that we are well aware of while making some decisions during this meeting? So that becomes your step four. And the last one, step five, is about understanding, oh, this is the goal that we need to focus on. And when anyone, it can be you or anyone else who might be getting derailed from this kind of a goal, you can set the context again, help them understand what the goals are, and redirect the whole team towards achieving that specific goal or outcome during that meeting. Just think through this. So don't you think when you just follow this 5-step process, you will be more prepared, you will be more effective, and people will be really amazed looking at how well you communicate. I hope this helps, and I am really happy and grateful that you are here with me in this video and learned a very, very important framework towards improving your effectiveness when it comes to communication. Thank you so much. I will meet you very soon. Take care.